Good morning, everyone. So, I'm going to tell you about a little bit of my travel rants, but before I start telling you about my rants, I've got to establish some credibility with you. So, as Michael said, I travel a lot, as most of you do, and I never stay in any hotel more than once or one night. So if I'm in New York 3 times, I move literally 3 times. And I take the list of all hotels available in New York, list them alphabetically, no offense brands if any of you are here, I get rid of Marriott and Hilton and all that stuff, and I get rid of the 3-star, shady, sketchy, bed bug stuff. So there's a lot of hotels in New York. So my count currently in New York is 175 hotels. Actually not accurate, I added 3 last week. So 178 hotels in New York City alone. Most of them are in the lifestyle space. I will try a brand every once in a while just to kind of check it out. So Edition builds a new hotel, I'll go try it and check it out. And people say, why? Well, because I'm crazy, obviously, because if any of you have tried it, it's exceedingly detrimental to your health because you got to pack and unpack and store your bag and go back and get it and all that business. So nonetheless, it's my shtick, I do it. And in fact, Michael today said, where'd you stay last night? Here? I said, yeah. He goes, where are you staying tonight? So now I've got to do it because people will call me on it if I don't do it. So my street cred is at jeopardy. I've actually run out of hotels in Boston. I've run out of hotels in Chicago. I've run out of hotels in Seattle, LA. So now I have to sort of repeat. And my spectrum of hotels goes from a baccarat in New York for $2,000 a night to like a hostel for $50 a night. With the idea of I'm a constant student. I want to learn what to do, but more importantly, what not to do. So a few travel rants and hopefully some lessons out of them to share with you all. And I think a lot of those lessons are relevant to all of your industries, wherever industry you're in. They're not exclusive to the hospitality industry. Pay attention. So my last name is 4 letters. I usually show up to my room at 11 o'clock at night. I am holding my credit card and my license in hand. My carry-on is in tow, and I'm literally like this at the desk. And the guy says, checking in. And I'm thinking, what the hell do you think I'm doing with my credit card and my license in hand at 11 o'clock at night with my bag in tow? Hand me my key, and for God's sake, do not talk to me. Don't tell me about the spa that's closed, because I'm only here one night, and I'm going to leave at 7 o'clock in the morning. Don't tell me about the brunch you have on Sunday, because I'm not here on Sunday. But they become like robots. They just go through their shtick, and they never think about who's in front of them. And don't tell me where the elevator is. I can hear it. I got it. I've been there, done that. Just hand me my key. These guys show up, on the other hand. They've had a long day. They're lost. They're confused. They want to know what's happening in town. They want to know everything to do in the hotel. Spend your time with them. Pay attention to them. And really the idea behind this is this skill is so underrated. Read people correctly and give them what they want. Don't give me what you were told to give me because you think I want it. Give me what you read I want from you. So emotional intelligence is a big thing for us, and we focus a lot on it. And I'll touch on it in a little bit as well. Do I really want what you want me to want? I will literally take a Motel 6 with great water pressure over a 4 Seasons. And as many of you know, you go to most hotels and this is what you end up with. And the idea is, you want to conserve the environment, you want to do whatever you want to do, fine, do it on your own, don't force it on me. I am paying you whatever I'm paying you, let me choose to be environmentally friendly if I so choose. So for someone like me, water pressure is a big deal. Don't mess with that for me, I'll do it in other ways, or not do it at all for that matter. So in order to fix this problem, I literally travel with these 2 devices. One of them is the fit-all wrench, which allows me to take the shower head off, and back in the day, you used to flip it like this, and the water flow restrictor would fall out, and I'd put it back on. Of course, as of late, they're all built in. They're integrally built in. So now I have to travel with needle nose pliers and literally sit there and smack the thing out of the shower head to get it out to make it work for me. And as you can imagine, that needle nose plier, 50% of the time makes it through TSA. And of course, they're like, why do you have this? I'm like, why do you care? I can't kill no pilots with a needle nose plier. I suppose I could if I tried to, but I could do it with that wrench too around their neck. But anyway, this is what I want. Don't mess with me. Don't force it on me. Let me choose. So if I have to go through all that trouble, and by the way, this is not exclusive to any class of hotels. You find this everywhere. People get so creative with their shower heads, but you can't do anything. You're like trying to get the soap off of your body. This is another one of my favorites. Why is there a Bible in the drawer? You're Hindu, she's Jewish, he's an atheist, he's whatever. Why are we forcing our view on you? So we as a company 10 years ago yanked the Bibles out of the drawers. We created a little piece of paper that we called the spiritual menu. We sent someone down to Barnes & Noble, bought a dozen books, the top sort of books that cover most religions. You can't cover them all, but certainly most popular religions. And we said, if you want a holy book, name it, we will happily and respectfully deliver it to you free of charge. And it's amazing because this piece of collateral has become the single most stolen piece of collateral in the room, because now it tells a story. Someone will bring it home and show it to someone and talk about this thoughtful hotel that did this for them. This piece of paper got us on The View with Barbara Walters, talking about how religion has changed in today's age and how sort of the Bible in the drawer is an old symbol that no longer works. So you doing you equals you letting me be me. So again, focus on what people want, not what you think they want. Really understand your customers and give them what they want. Spend your time and money wisely. So as I said, I travel excessively, and I'm lucky I'm connected in the industry. So inevitably, wherever I go, there's a spread waiting for me. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I've arrived in my room at around 11 p.m. The spread was put in the room around 1 p.m. By the time I get to the room, that cheese is literally sweating, and that fruit looks like this. And there's a bottle of wine that's whatever, Chateau, whatever, worth $1,000 or whatever, but it's 11 o'clock, I'm not opening it. And typically that wine bottle, by the way, is there without an opener, which happens about 60-70% of the time, so thanks for the wine. And I will not take it home if my life depended on it, because at the end of the day, I have to check my bag in, and no money is worth checking my bag in. So, and everywhere you go, again, with the spread there's a card in front of the spread with my name on it in an envelope, and once you read 1 to 100 of them, you think that literally someone buys a catalog, rips a card out of it, because they all say exactly the same thing. Dear Mr. Wali, thanks for being with us. We hope you enjoy your stay. If you need anything, please call on us. So it sort of becomes repetitive to read it, so I'd never read them anymore. So the card goes in the garbage, the tray goes outside along with the bottle of wine, which I leave inside for the room attendant, and off I go. Except this one hotel I walk into one day, there's this sweaty cheese and the rotten fruit and the Chateau Lafite, whatever, and there's a card not in an envelope. So I say, I feel bad. They've gone through all this trouble. I'm going to go read the card. Maybe it'll be my good deed for the week. So I walk up to the card, pick it up and read it, and there it is, the soul crushing, same exact message from Hotel Cards R Us that they bought, and they write the same thing. Dear Mr. Wali, blah, 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 blah. P.S. The show Blackish is on Channel 10 at 8 o'clock tonight. And I'm literally standing there stunned. Like, what the hell? Why? Why do they know? So I whip out my computer, go into my browser in private, type in my name, and find that the public portion of my Facebook profile said that I like this show. Holy shit. It took someone 60 seconds, cost them $0, and made such a huge impact on me, because you know what? We all want to be VIPs. We all want to feel special. The fruit and the cheese and the wine, it's someone's checklist. Someone says, there's somebody coming here, send them the typical whatever. This actually took someone a tiny bit of thought to think about, well, who is this person that's coming? Let's find out who they are and give them something very specific and unique to them. I will happily repeat this hotel again, and clearly I've been able to tell the story again and again to everyone I know. So again, we all get caught up into wanting to do so much, and we forget what really, really matters. The next one I'm going to talk to you about is actually at one of our hotels. It's probably the single best hotel review I've ever read in my entire career. And you can fact check it and verify it if you want, so bear with me. It's a little long, but I promise it's worth it. A short novel on customer service, or how Hotel Deluxe made my vacation amazing. This place is easily the coolest hotel I have ever stayed in my life. First, the hotel is clean, conveniently located, and the staff is incredibly friendly, naturally. Second, they actually fulfilled my most drunken and outrageous requests. Not that I advocate for making drunken or outrageous requests at the expense of those in the service industry. My story is as follows. My girlfriend was booking a hotel for us to stay in for one night. I was obnoxiously and unhelpfully drinking whiskey. She came across Hotel Deluxe and decided it would be the most ideal place. I'm a lucky guy to have come across a significant other capable of displaying such sound judgment. I know. During the booking process, the online form asks if you would care to make any special requests regarding your room. Selfishly, I thought it would be a good idea to request that the hotel staff leave 2 pillow mints, a hand-drawn framed picture of Neil deGrasse Tyson, note, deGrasse, Deluxe, humor, boom, in addition to a handwritten love letter from Neil to Billy Nye the Science Guy. One could imagine my surprise when I arrived in my room to find exactly what I had requested. They took me seriously. I felt completely validated and completely ashamed all at once. Aside from having a sense of humor, the staff went to great length to fulfill my ridiculous request, thus providing me definitely the highest caliber of customer service I have ever experienced, provided me with all the Reddit karma I could ever want, and gave me an experience I can look back on and chuckle at for years to come. And as another brief aside, in addition to being charming, smart, and funny, the staff uniformly exhibits a high degree of physical beauty, all of them total babes. I'll also go on the record as saying that as an individual who's in the service industry myself, in a hotel no less, that I'm selfish, childish, and possibly slightly conceited. I don't think it's funny to make people go to great lengths to satisfy me, nor do I think that service industry folks are less than 100% human. It was completely uncalled for me to ask these people to sacrifice their valuable time for my personal amusement. However, the good people down at Hotel de Grasse Tyson really give a shit. Postscript, any review that ranks this hotel at less than 5 stars was written by someone who could not possibly be pleased by even the highest degree of ecstasy and possibly possesses some sort of neurological disorder. I don't like them, and you shouldn't trust them. Billy, this is the note. You and I are like a binary star. Together we are a symbiotic marvel. However, should we ever drift apart, all of the space-time wouldn't be enough to fill the void in my heart. I would implode due to this massive nature of my grief and would succumb to my fate and collapse upon myself. Movie at my place this weekend? Love, Neil. So again, the idea of taking 5 minutes, doing something really fun and really personalized to make someone feel special. This person now, not only do I get to use this review 1,000 times, but this person becomes a brand ambassador because they're going to go out there and preach the gospel about this incredible experience they had that literally cost nothing. And it's interesting because the way you do this and encourage people to do this doesn't come from training. This really comes from fostering an environment that encourages coloring outside of the lines and really thinking outside of the box to take care of your guests. So good service demands substance. It's not about, again, how you do it or what you do. It's really about the substance of what you're doing. And again, it applies to anyone's business. You guys all know yourself as a recipient, when you get a handwritten note from someone, for whatever reason, it's completely different than anything else they might do because somebody took the time to do that. If you have to say it, we as an industry have gotten so stuck on terms. Everything is authentic and curated and handcrafted and truly those words at the end of the day have become meaningless. I can't tell you what authentic means anymore. And truth be told, a beige Marriott calls themselves authentic and handcrafted and artisanal and all that, and on the other end of the spectrum, something that was truly created in that market for a specific reason for one hotel says the same thing, so ultimately it's gotten all diluted. So one of my favorite quotes is about execution, is really focus about how you're doing it, not what you call it or not. Plus, authentic people never say they're cool. You know that cool friend you have, they never walk up to you and say, hi, I'm cool. You just sort of know they're cool, you know they're authentic. So really focusing on execution becomes really important. And the point out of this is, as people read all these things about these hotels, these places they're staying at, they truly become meaningless. Service is not a to-do list. It's not a checklist. We as a company do mystery shops. We send someone in, they have a checklist of 100 items, and they go check in. Have they used your name 3 times? Did they offer you luggage service? Did they do this? Did they do that? And you check down the list. And we found out quickly that you can ace those transactional shops, but fail miserably on the emotional side of it. Because ultimately, I can deliver that checklist for you and be the rudest person you ever met. So we've now intermingled the transactional mystery shops with what we call an emotional-based shop. So we'll send someone in to do the checklist, and they'll check all the things that whether you asked them or didn't ask them and what you did. But then on the other hand, we'll send the next quarter someone else in, and we'll say, there's no list. How did you feel at check-in? Did you feel really, truly warmly welcomed? When you had a problem, because typically they will invent a problem, did you find that somebody genuinely cared about fixing your problem? Whether they fixed it or not is inconsequential. Did they truly care about you enough to convince you that they are trying to fix your problem? You know, people often ask about, well, what do you remember out of those hotels you stay at? And to take New York as an example, I can't tell you what kind of tile was on the floor at Baccarat or what kind of whatever was on the wall here or what art was there, because they all start blending together. Because design has become ubiquitous. They all look the same. So my short answer to that question usually is, I remember when someone goes out of their way and genuinely, underscore genuinely, gives a shit. The bar is really, really, really low about what one will remember. So to pick again on our friends at Marriott, now Ritz-Carlton, they had this credo that you had to memorize, and their tagline was, ladies and gentlemen, serving ladies and gentlemen. Well, what does that really mean? If I have to memorize it, not believe in it, anybody can memorize anything. A parrot can memorize it. But at the end of the day, if you don't really live by it, it doesn't make a difference. So we confuse the word service a lot. I go to get my oil changed in my car. Well, that place is in the service business. My dentist is in the service business. So I think it does our industry a disservice to say we're in the service industry. I say we're in the hospitality industry, and the hospitality is how you make people feel. It's not what you deliver. Service is what you deliver. Hospitality is how you make people feel. And I think Maya Angelou said something like, people will forget what you did to them, what you said to them, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. So that really is truly important. Shock and awe. We've run out of things to do in our industry, so now we try to do shock and awe just to make people feel better about our offering versus the next guy's offering. So a hotel in Hollywood, to remain nameless, has a walk of shame kit in their minibar. So the first time I go alone, it's cute. I get a chuckle out of it. Maybe it goes on Instagram. The second time I go with my 14-year-old daughter who says, what's a walk of shame kit? No longer cute. So the idea is, if this was an adults-only hotel, okay, fine. But if you're a hotel for families and across the spectrum, you have to be thoughtful about what you do and why you do it. And you guys know every hotel has those sex kits in their minibar. We go to a great length to make sure we find something that, again, is ubiquitous. So if your little daughter or little son picks it up, they're not going to have, well, hopefully they won't open it and eat what's in it, but they won't know what it is. It doesn't become, it's not about just bragging or showing off. It really is about providing service to customers. You may have enough money and buy an $18 million woolly mammoth skeleton dipped in gold and stick it in front of your hotel. So what? What does that really mean at the end of the day? So we say, be human. It's far more impressive. This idea of creating human connections between you and your customers, your clients, the people that come to your hotels. I think Airbnb does this geniusly because they say, it's interesting, the minute you decide to book on Airbnb, they call it a host. So now you're thinking, I'm going to this strange city and I have a host. I have a human on the other end who's going to host me versus going to, again, a hotel company's booking engine and dealing with some bot as far as you're concerned. So we focus a lot about the human part of the interaction as opposed to all the other bells and whistles around it. So we as a company, our tagline is we're people first and hotels, hoteliers second, and this is our manifesto. I won't read it for you, but the first line of it goes, a hotel is just a building. It really is about the people and the feelings that are in it that make a difference, not about the building. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.